In our cars, we become other people.
Please, what are you doing?
Our personality changes behind the wheel. Because we feel like we are in a bubble, a protective cage.
Never do this again.
In any case, the human-car or car-human relationship has some side effects for us bipeds.
When we get in our car, something happens to us, but behind the wheel, not everyone behaves the same.
So how do cars influence us, and what does being in the car space mean for us?
You could say that being in the car is a sort of a buffer, a medium between us and the world outside.
We feel untouchable and, funnily enough, unobserved. Although we know we can be observed quite easily, we behave differently in the car than we do out of it. And most of us can't or won't admit it.
Just like on the internet, on social media, people feel disinhibited. They feel more able to say what they feel because, in a sense, they're not face to face with the person that they're interacting with.
Dr. Chris Tennant is an expert who's conducted a study on human behavior behind the wheel.
I mean, if you're driving along, you might yell quite forceful abuse at someone who's done something fairly minor but got in your way a little bit. In that situation, you're not inhibited because they're not going to come back at you for it. I mean, unless you're unlucky, of course.
Dr. Tennant has identified 7 personality types in cars. So what are they and which one are you most likely to be?
The teacher. This type likes to raise his fingers and tell others what they are doing wrong, and also expects some kind of recognition for their behavior. What are you doing? Rather an annoying type, but also one I've seen in myself from time to time behind the wheel.
What do you think? Which car is most suited to the teacher? Right, a Volvo station wagon, of course. Moving on. And now it gets a bit racier.
The competitor always wants to be in the front, and if someone wants to overtake, this type will speed up or drive up so close that no one can filter in front.
Here the best fit is a Porsche. Personality number 3 is the exact opposite of the competitor.
The philosopher accepts the other drivers as they are and doesn't react to their mistakes. There is no point anyway, the philosopher probably thinks to themselves. Some may say, what a bore, but maybe he's just smarter than many other drivers in the car.
And which car model is probably the most philosophical on the road? A French one, of course. But which one? A Citroën DS. In French, DS means goddess. The next personality is less divine.
The know-it-all can get a bit loud and loves a good rant in this protected area. For them, every other road user is simply incompetent. Any passenger on board must be able to tune it up from time to time if they can stand to drive with the know-it-all at all.
What kind of car does the know-it-all prefer? A Toyota, a Prius to be precise.
The Punisher. If the going gets tough, he will often leave his car to make the others aware of their mistakes.
Which vehicle suits this aggressive type best? Militant, robust, aggressive? It's the Hummer, of course. Personality number 6 is not aggressive at all.
The Escapee distances themselves from everyone and everything. This type daydreams, talks on the phone and pays no attention at all and doesn't see themselves as a danger on the road.
What kind of car does someone who's not at all interested in the world drive? It's the Fiat Multipla. And last but not least,
the avoider, champions of distraction. This type likes to isolate themselves with music, for example. The avoider doesn't want to have any kind of relationship with other drivers at all. Often behaves rather fearfully and causes problems by his hyper-cautious driving. Of course, this type doesn't notice the chaos they're causing. Many people become like that when they get older.
the best fit here is a VW bus. These were the 7 personality types behind the wheel. Did you recognize yourself, or is it not possible to recognize yourself in just one personality at all?
It's not like we were suggesting that you've got 7 distinct types of people and everybody fits into one of those. That's not the idea. You know, behavior is a function of the personality, the actor, and the environment.
And that's why everyone could basically become anyone in the car. For a short moment, even a very, very calm person could become a know-it-all or a punisher, at least in their own little world in the car.